weightlifting stunt my child's growth? I'm Coach Leo with LSL Fitness, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the concerns, the fears about having your kids start a resistance training program and what's the truth, what you really need to know. Now, there are a lot of conflicting stories out there concerned with kids hurting themselves, becoming complacent, not wanting to continue a program, or the worst of all, stunting their growth. And even though those are all valid concerns, a kid won't hurt themselves, they won't become complacent, and they definitely won't have those issues of stunting their growth as long as they're in the right program, considering all the factors to make sure that they do the things correctly. Now, before I go into detail about how to address those concerns, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below, or you can reach me at any of the socials in the description. Now, to start off, for all those parents that are concerned with their kids potentially getting hurt during resistance training, a study showed that kids who participated in regular strength training programs were actually less likely to get hurt. And a bonus factor, their self-confidence went up. So their confidence goes up, and guess what? They are probably gonna get better at any sport they partake in on a regular basis. I know for myself, for when it comes to resistance training and my girls, I have them partake in it already. As long as they do it safely and I'm watching them, of course, that's the most important part, that they continue to be self-aware of their body, develop a better mind-body control of how they move, and know their strengths and limitations. In regards to kids or teens becoming complacent or feeling exhausted of doing a particular sport, or specifically training, weight training, after a period of time, it really comes down to mixing it up for them. I mean, anybody, even adults, get tired of doing the same kind of program over and over and over again. So if you introduce some variety for them, that's going to help them adapt to that particular sport that you're trying to help them to focus on, make it even easier for them to want to come back to it. And me personally, as I mentioned before, I'm having my daughter do different activities, from running, jumping. If she wants to swim, we're gonna swim. If she wants to do sprints on the track or in the gym, we're definitely gonna do sprints on the track. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to consider is doing all these activities all play an important role in their development, and continuing to have them engaged in that activity is gonna go a long way in keeping them consistent. A good example of this would be if you have your kid playing ice hockey. Well, you know what? From time to time, have them go for a swim, or have them run on the track or on the field, on the grass. Get them off the ice from time to time and help them enjoy what they like to do, which is playing ice hockey. If you do it all the time or force them to do it, eventually at the end of the day, they're gonna fight you on it. And guess what? Both of you are mad. And for me personally, I would love for my daughter to do track, but I'm not gonna force it on her. I'm gonna slowly introduce it to her and make it interesting and make it seem like we're just having fun. But in reality, she's doing activities that she would easily find in track workouts or weightlifting workouts. But it's just a matter of slowly introducing it to her, making it commonplace for her. That way, when she starts to follow a regimented program, it comes easy to her and she knows how to do the movement, and it comes easy and she enjoys it because, you know what, I've mastered this and I can move on to the next thing. When it comes to the potential of stunting a child's growth, there's definitely concern for that, but not as much as you would think there is. Kids are durable, they go through a lot of different things, hurting themselves on a daily basis, just playing around. So if you have a structured program, a correct program, they're less likely to hurt themselves because they're gonna progress correctly, appropriately to what they can do. Now, of course, you can definitely hurt the epheseal plates that are developing from adolescence all the way up into adulthood. But as long as you are aware of what you are doing and watching your kids, or having somebody, a strength coach, monitor them, and obviously having the right strength coach to guide them along is going to make a world of difference. The important part here is all about progression. You want your kids to start with the movements at a lighter weight, master the movement. It's more important that any kid or even adult master the movement before they start progressing with heavier and heavier weight, because if you just push to heavy weight right out the gate, you're more likely to get hurt. From adult all the way down to kids, it doesn't matter. you're going to get hurt, because guess what? Your technique is bad, your form is bad. So of course that's going to hurt the esophageal plates. But how do you avoid that? You avoid that by having proper coaching, proper programming, and guess what? With that, it's going to lead to better and better adaptations, making them stronger, making them faster, making them better at their respective sports. Now, if you're still hesitant about your kids doing resistance training, keep in mind that strength training is not just meant for athletes. It's meant for kids that even aren't into sports. Just consider some of the benefits that come from resistance training. You're strengthening the bones. You're lowering your cholesterol and maintaining a good blood pressure. You're having your kids maintain a healthy weight. And guess what? For me, the biggest thing of all that I see, not just in adults, but kids, improvement in self-esteem and confidence. Why? Those two in itself should have you really urge your kids to start a resistance training program. Now, before you introduce strength training to your kids, keep these things in mind. Have a professional to build out the right program for them and their needs and their abilities. Encourage them to warm up the muscles before they start any kind of vigorous activities. Like I mentioned before, keep the weights light so they master the movements. Mastery of any movement is going to lead to greater and greater adaptations later on in the program. And always supervise your kids, whether you're training with them or having a professional train them. Make sure that they have the right supervision so they avoid getting hurt and they develop correctly. And of course, give your kids a day of rest from working on specific muscle groups. A sufficient amount of rest is going to promote strength gains. And finally, just make it fun. If your kids are enjoying the activity of resistance training, guess what? They're less likely to be complacent, stick to it, and benefit from it greatly. If you can, do it with them even more. Like I love to work out with my little one. And if you can't, have a strength coach or a trainer train them correctly so that way they can adapt to it, get stronger, get faster, and build that self-confidence. There you have it, guys. If you have your kids already participating in any strength training program, leave it in the comment section down below. If you have questions, any questions, or you need more guidance, please feel free to reach out to me. I've put a link in the description below. You can schedule a free phone call with me to answer any questions you might have about your kids' program or anything else like that. All right, guys, make sure you hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I post that next video, and I'll catch you guys next time.